What's going on, guys? Bengal King here, coming back at you with another video today. Back recording in this kind of similar setup. I'm moving into my apartment on like the 25th. I still have to get internet going over there, so the setup will become a little bit more professional in the next coming days, but we are going to be doing the Baltimore Ravens realistic rebuild today, taking a realistic approach, building through the draft, free agency where we can. Of course, that doesn't mean we're going to do exactly what the Ravens will do or what I think they'll do. I am running the team at this point. I am the new GM, General Manager Gene Dangus, and I'm excited. The Ravens have one of my favorite players in NFL history in Earl Thomas. Of course, Justin Tucker, another good old Texas boy. Best kicker in the NFL, maybe trending towards the best kicker of all time. Percentage-wise, statistically, he's right up there near the top. Lamar Jackson as well. We'll see if we can build him to being the quarterback of the future here in Baltimore. Of course, for all the people that say he's a running back, it's absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. Now, that doesn't mean he's a polished passer at this point, and he is very, very gifted with his legs, but you're not calling Michael Vick a running back at any point in his career because he had a cannon of an arm, and so does Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's a great arm. Just needs to work more on consistency and accuracy. Ravens didn't really unleash him last year. He finally started throwing the ball a little bit more in the playoffs against the Chargers, and he put some nice strings, some nice sequences together. They didn't end up winning that game, of course, and they kind of got crushed in it, but you're looking for the small plays from a rookie. Peyton Manning's rookie year was garbage. It isn't necessarily the same exact situation. Lamar Jackson is probably the least comparable quarterback to Peyton Manning, but I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be able to be the quarterback of the future here in Baltimore. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dissect the rest of the roster. So a few housekeeping things before we really get into things. So there was a big title update today as I record this, and that title update, as we're going to move Hollywood Brown to receiver number 1, changed the draft. So you no longer know immediately when you draft a star or better player. It actually is star or better. Could be anything. Could be star, superstar, or superstar X Factor. So you don't get to see in advance what their actual true development trait is yet. So maybe that'll add to the fun of things, but we do have a very interesting team. And of course, this is realistic, so I will be using my draft class as well. We'll go over that here in a minute. But if we take a look at the offense, it's not awful. Now, there are some notable holes at wide receiver. Could use a lot of upgrades across the board. Seth Roberts, Willie Snead, not going to get it done. We're definitely going to build around Hollywood Brown. The offensive line, I think, is really solid in general. Ronnie Stanley's a beast. Orlando Brown Jr. is definitely trending in the right direction. Marshall Yant has been one of the best guards the NFL has ever seen. However, he is 34. He's not going to be around forever. We're going to have to replace him, although this is realistic, so he obviously will not be getting traded. Mascara, Alex Lewis, probably upgradable pieces across the rest of the offensive line as well. And at running back, the team brought in Mark Ingram. Now, he's approaching 30 years old, so maybe not our future franchise back, but also could be good enough to get by. Kenneth Dixon in here, Gus the Bus Edwards, Justice Hill, who the Ravens drafted out of Oklahoma State, of course, RG3, and Trace McSorley behind Lamar Jackson. They really don't have a lot of depth at quarterback there, but Patrick Ricard is in here as well, former defensive tackle. I never really know how to say his name. And then at tight end, Mark Andrews is a monster out of Oklahoma. Hayden Hurst, who was 25 out of South Carolina when he got drafted, or 24, and now he's like probably 26. He played some minor league baseball, so that's why he's a lot older than your typical second-year players. Nick Boyle in there as well. They just love their tight ends, just however many they can have. Earl Thomas, the best safety, in my opinion, out of the 2010s. He's a monster. Still a 95 overall. We're going to keep him. Linebacking core could get upgrades. However, I like Kenny Young. I like Patrick Owasso. I like Matt Judon. We'll see how much these guys can develop. Tyus Bowser in there as well. Tim Williams. Pernell McPhee definitely is not our answer here. Jalen Ferguson. Tony Jefferson's all right. Anthony Levine is all right. I love my boy Deshaun Elliott. I want him to play some more. Another Texas guy. I think he's going to be really good in the NFL, but we just got to give him the opportunity. And then at cornerback, one of the most underrated corners in the NFL, Marlon Humphrey. Got Jimmy Smith, Tavon Young, who's actually injured in real life, but he's definitely going to be our slot guy, our nickel cornerback. Brandon Carr, I don't really care for. Might see if we could trade him. And then across the defensive line, Willie Henry, Chris Wormley, Shane Ray, Michael Pierce, Dalen Mack. I guess I drafted Chris Wormley. We just talked about briefly. Zach Sealer, Brandon Williams in there as well. So we have two good, big defensive linemen in Michael Pierce and Brandon Williams. But overall, I think it's going to be a lot about progressing these players. Justin Tucker's a beast. Hollywood Brown's going to be returning kicks and punts. He's absolutely winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. Pretty much no way around that. Sam Cook is the punter as well. He's also going to be our slot receiver. This is the team for season number 1. I think it's going to be fairly successful. I really do. A bunch of good players here. Obviously, a lot of room for improvement, but we'll see how we do over the first season. And I'm excited for it. As always, I would be remiss if I did not say, use code BENGAL at SeatGeek. You save yourself $20 whenever you buy tickets for anything. And that's a long-winded intro. It's not all the way over yet. I still got to preload the actual draft class in, and we'll explain that here in a second. 2-2 up through week 5, but of course we will be importing my file. If you guys want to use this file, it is the most downloaded anything on PS4. And the people were having some issues with it, where it was showing up as everyone's a first-round talent. It's just a visual glitch. They're not. I can guarantee you this is one of the best classes on here, if not the best class. Still, work in progress. When I have time, I'll go back and edit, but almost 100,000 downloads. You guys have been great from that. Of course, I already have the file, so I'm just going to import it. And if you guys download it from the regular Madden share, you can just import it this way as well. And I guarantee you, it should work pretty fine for you. So that's going to be in there. That's how you download it. My PSN name is Gene Dangus. The draft class is 2020 NFL Draft Bengal or something like that. You saw it on the screen. It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty straightforward. At the midseason mark, we are 4-3, which is second in the AFC North. I wanted to say some more stuff at the start, but I kind of go on, and this isn't a podcast. These episodes are long enough as it is, but I feel like the Ravens were just totally written off by everybody after this past season, because they did lose some big-time players. You look at some guys who left, like Zadarius Smith was a big impact player that left. C.J. Mosley was a big-time impact player that left, even though maybe he wasn't even the best linebacker on the Ravens last year. Shout out to Patrick Owasso. But I feel like the Ravens are still a good team, and I still feel like they can compete, and at least we're seeing that a little bit here in simulation. As usual, we know the Browns are going to run away with it. If you guys have seen any of the other videos on the channel, you know the Browns run away with it every single year, every single time, every single season. Those are some fun videos. If you guys haven't seen them, maybe check them out, see what you want to do. Jimmy Smith is 31 already. Yikes. I would have guessed at about 28, 29 maybe. That's something else. I don't even know what to do with some of these players. I thought Tavon Young signed a big 3-year deal. Was that 3 years ago? No, it couldn't have been. Did his contract get changed? Why is he a free? I don't even know what's going on. So I'm not signing Willie Snead to a deal worth over 5 per year. Just isn't going to happen. So I'm content with finding a different receiving option. There's so many big free agents. We brought back Owasso. We brought back Tavon Young. Brought back Patrick Ricard. That's the one name I never know how to say. And no one's ever told me. And I'm sure I'm going to get 400 of them now that I've pointed it out. So thanks, I guess. And we got to improve the salary on Matthew Judon and Michael Pierce, and we should be able to do that. I don't really feel like bringing back Jimmy Smith. He's going to want probably 8 per year. 11.5. What are you, high? Maybe. We're going to go ahead and simulate to the end of the season. This could be a playoff caliber team for us. We're right on the edge right now. It could happen. We'll see. Will we make the playoffs in year 1? 10-6. The Chargers are 11-5. This seems a little bit familiar, doesn't it? This seems way too familiar. Browns went 13-3. That's something that certainly is not familiar. We'll check out the stats and see how this team is doing. Lamar Jackson, 34 passing touchdowns. Not bad. That's a great season. Only 7 interceptions. Yards aren't crazy. And I think stats are going to change a little bit with the new title update. I heard rushing quarterbacks were fixed a little bit. And yeah, a little bit. As Lamar Jackson has 285 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Some things that you wouldn't see so much. His longest run of 9 yards, though, I find that a little bit difficult to believe. But Mark Ingram had a great year. Kenneth Dixon, not so much. Still 6 touchdowns. Receiving, Hollywood Brown over 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns. Willie Snead up near 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Good season. But as I say, a lot of these sim stats are not about overall so much as they are about scheme and where they're positioned in the offense. That's why slot receivers always get way more yards and way more touchdowns in sim, because that's just the way it happens. I mean, you can just basically scheme rookie of the year if you play your rookie in the slot if they're a receiver, which I'm cool with doing. I don't mind. Michael Pierce had a great year, even generated some pressure, as did Brandon Williams. 11.5 sacks for Brandon Williams. Seems like a little much, but, whatever. I'll take it. Interceptions. Levine Sr. had 5. How? I don't... He didn't even start. I guess he might have been my sub linebacker and got in. Who knows? Tony Jefferson had 3. Earl Thomas only had 1. Sim stats are still weird, but that is to be accepted. 2 defensive touchdowns. Tony Jefferson. What is going on? Yearly awards. Andrew Luck wins MVP. Josh Allen in number 2. Interesting. Lamar Jackson at 8. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Andrew Luck. Lamar Jackson at 6. No, are the Ravens. Defensive Player of the Year is Myles Jack, and he'll be a free agent, as he won't get re-signed, as he never gets re-signed, despite whatever happens, as you guys will see. Offensive Rookie of the Year is, of course, Hollywood Brown. Did you expect anything different? Justice Hill in at number 9. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year is Cleveland Ferrell out there with the Oakland Raiders. And no Ravens in there, but we didn't start any rookies, so that's to be expected. Who was the first defensive draft pick by the Ravens? Was it Jalen Ferguson out of Louisiana Tech? I guess it must have been in the 3rd round. I can't remember who they took in the 2nd. As Hollywood Brown does have superstar dev. Did he have that to begin with, or is that boosted to superstar over the course of the year? No, he made the Pro Bowl, but that's almost definitely what he had before. I think he has human joystick, or jukebox, or whatever that ability is called. I feel like he did at the initial build of the game that I played at EA in, like, May. I guess that's been changed, so maybe I shouldn't say that, but I've already said it, so it's been said. Who'd they draft in the 2nd round? Did they have a 2nd round pick? They maybe didn't. And I'm sure you guys are screaming it at the screen. I just don't remember or don't know. I don't see anyone that they would have. Now I have to look it up. Justice Hill wasn't the 2nd round pick. He went in the 4th, I think. Miles Boykin, I kind of forgot was on the team. He wasn't a 2nd round pick. Wasn't? No, I think he was a 3rd. They maybe had 2 3rd round picks and no 2nd. Yeah, he was a 3rd. I need to look it up now. Yeah, no 2nd. I was right with the picks I had so far. I'm going to do a quarterback training boost. So Lamar Jackson hopefully going to develop a little bit quicker. I like to see that. We got a matchup against the Chargers in the wild card to advance to the divisional. I don't think we're going to beat them. We lose 35-30. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. I didn't even see some of our practice squad players. Kair Vidvik's there. Really, really good kicker. And he has no place on the Ravens because of Justin Tucker. I thought they were going to trade him. I remember hearing trade rumors. I can't remember to where. I guess that never materialized, though. They moved him to punter? Interesting. The Panthers beat the Chargers in the Super Bowl 42-17, and I've got to bring back Michael Pierce. I have to bring back... Jimmy Smith is a 78. I'm out. Judon's probably regressing a bit. Yeah, I'm still going to probably offer him a contract. It's not going to be a 6-year deal, I'll tell you that much. Might be like 3. So Matt Judon wants to play for a new team. Franchise tag's going to be like what? For an outside linebacker, 15 plus mil. 13? That's so bad. I don't want to pay that. Michael Pierce wants to play for a new team next year. I just boosted his contract a ton. I'm going to franchise tag him. It's 13 for a D tackle. Sucks for me, I guess. I'm not giving Willie Snead a big contract. It's not happening. He's not in my future plan, so we just got to let some guys walk. And you say Anthony Levine Sr. had a great year. I think he's a team captain, actually. I don't know why I thought he was. Maybe he's not. Anyway, big veteran. He's a 71 overall. I don't care. I can't bring him back. We got to look to the future. It's got to happen. So let's see what we can do in free agency. I'd be cool with making a splash. We're going to have some money. Over 50 mil. I couldn't bring back Matt Judon. Kendall Fuller's in here. Myles Jack is in here. Shocker. Ryan Shazier's in here. I'm not going to get him. Rodney McLeod has superstar development. How is that? That's interesting. Not going to sign him, but there's some interesting choices here for sure. So we brought back Matt Judon. That was a big focus for me, but we also upgraded the offensive line by bringing in Joe Thuney, by bringing in Cody Whitehair. These are big upgrades on the offensive line that really solidify the group. So Cody Whitehair is going to start at center. Thuney's going to play left guard. We still need to improve right guard because Marshall Yanda is going to retire probably next season. We have to get an heir apparent for that position. Maybe it doesn't have to be in this draft. Maybe it doesn't, but it probably should be. Brandon Williams went up to Superstar Dev. Another interesting thing, considering he is 31. I wish it was anybody else. I really do. I wish it was Patrick Wasso or Kenny Young or, again, anybody else that got upgraded. But it was Brandon Williams, so that's okay. So we pick at number 21 overall. Broncos have the first pick. As I usually do in these realistic rebuilds, I'll let you guys see the first couple picks to see how it might end up playing out in real life as the Broncos take Chase Young. Now, do I think the Broncos are going to have the first pick? No. But you never know what could happen with trades or whatever. As the Bengals pick at number 2, they take Andrew Thomas out of Georgia. The Raiders go with Derek Brown out of Auburn. Dolphins select Tua Tagovailoa out of Bama. That feels like that's been a rumor for 2 years now. And then the Bucks decide to go with a tackle out of Tennessee in Trey Smith as we simulate to our pick at number 21. Jerry Jeudy last to 20. You know, if you're an Alabama fan, that, oh my goodness, let's draft an Alabama player. If not Alabama, a Baltimore Ravens fan. They love drafting their Alabama players. Ozzie Newsome, tight end, Alabama. Just drafts all Alabama players possible. But I see CeeDee Lamb available here at number 21. That's a tough pass. That would be a very, very tough pass. I think that's an electric combination. CeeDee Lamb teams up with, guess who? You guys are going to wait for me to see the connection. Hollywood Brown, Oklahoma wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb, in my opinion, might be the better of the two, at least at their time at Oklahoma. I think he's electric. And I hate Oklahoma. I really do. I love CeeDee Lamb. He is an electric player and a true star. He is a 76 overall with a hidden development trait. And, of course, that no longer means star, superstar, or superstar X Factor. It means star better. It really is hidden now. And, of course, he is not ranked at number 0. That's a glitch. Number 0 would be the best player in the class, and he's not. We just saw Jerry Jeudy go, and he was a 78. So, clearly, 78 is better than 76. I probably don't have to explain that to most of you. Some of you guys are like, maybe a little bit, whatever. But go ahead and pick here in the second round. Definitely some good players available. I can see that it's broken. It still says all these guys are first-round talents when they are not. Very, very clearly. But if that's going to be the glitch that happens, I apologize. Not really all that much I can do about it. It's just a visual glitch in the game. It has to be. So I'm going to go with a guard here. Let's go with Tommy Cramer out of Notre Dame. Ronnie Stanley went to Notre Dame. It definitely wouldn't be a former teammate of Ronnie Stanley's, but it is, someone from the same school. He, of course, has, it looks like a superstar X Factor, but it is not, because I definitely did not give Tommy Cramer superstar X Factor. It might be star, though, and, of course, 68 overall. Not that great, but could end up backing up Marshall Yanda and going to that starting spot. So, not a terrible pick here in the second round. 68 overall doesn't look pretty, but it's actually not too bad this year. LeBron Ray out of Alabama goes to the Redskins. That's another team that just takes Alabama players, and they have so many of them. In the Redskins rebuild, you guys saw so many Alabama players, especially across the defensive line. Now with LeBron Ray, team him up with Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. I mean, there are just so many Alabama players. Let's go with a linebacker here. People think I'm disrespecting the hell out of Shaquille Quarterman in this class. I don't necessarily agree. I think he's a good player. 66 is not too bad. It's about third-round value. Of course, with this glitch, we can't see where he's actually rated in the entire class, which is kind of annoying. But I think he's rated fairly. He's really awful in zone coverage, but he's a thumper up the middle and has decent enough speed, good tackling, block shot, hit power. I think this is an accurate representation of what Shaquille Quarterman will look like based on his ability now. in a draft class is Devontae Smith goes to the Raiders, electric receiver out of Bama. As we move on to the 4th round, probably getting into the neighborhood of running out of real players at certain positions. But we'll see what we can do here. KJ Hill still available. I don't really want to take another receiver. I mean, we could. CeeDee Lamb, Hollywood Brown, Miles Boykin. We could take another receiver. Do I want it to be KJ Hill? I think we're going to go with some more size. Let's go Donovan Peoples-Jones out of Michigan. 71 overall. That is pretty high. But this is such a good class for receivers. That's maybe like a first-round talent at 117. Not too bad. So we're pretty much out of the realm of real players at this point. This will be the final pick. It's not a real guy. Obviously, you know, and I don't want to be rude here, but he looks more like a Dexter than a DeAnthony Dexter if you're picking up what I'm putting down. All right? Now, this isn't me saying anything, but how many DeAnthonys do you know that look like him? I only know one DeAnthony Thomas. And the only reason I make the comparison is DeAnthony Dexter, we just took, is a lot taller. That's the only reason I even pointed out, is DeAnthony's in general are a lot shorter. That's what I mean. Not a terrible class. Their top 4 are decent. CeeDee Lamb should play an impact right away. We're going to play him in the slot this year, try to get him Offensive Rookie of the Year. And, I mean, I really have super high expectations for CeeDee Lamb. And, of course, always some guys will be like, hey, this is your draft class. You know who's going to be good or not. Right? Fair point. But in each of these, as you'll notice, we're taking different players every time. So it's not even close to the same. So not to worry. It's a fair critique. Don't get me wrong. It is. But I think it's a good class overall. And each realistic rebuild should feel a lot different based on the players that we take. So this is a decent team. Donovan Peoples-Jones can move up a little bit. CeeDee Lamb's definitely going to play. Miles Boykin, definitely going to play. I want to get him involved. Offensive line's looking great. Mark Andrews, beast. Hayden Hurst following up behind. Defensive line could use some improvement. Chris Wormley is not exactly the best option. And there is a 2021 class that we're going to try out for this episode. We'll see how it plays. Hopefully it's not awful. Although it might be. You never know. And, of course, specialist. I do want CeeDee Lamb in the slot, so I'm going to make that happen. Kenny Young, sub linebacker. That's fine. Maybe that should be Patrick Owasso. Nah, we'll do Kenny Young. He's younger. Hey, see what I did there? Younger? That's a fun little accident. That's the way my mom describes me, actually. We're going to move on and edit the depth chart. Throw CeeDee Lamb in there, and I will see you guys at the midseason mark. All right, Week 9, coming off a loss to the Jaguars in Week 8. We are 4-4. The Browns are just going to go undefeated because why not, I guess, at this point. Anything can happen. Michael Pierce is a free agent. We had to franchise tag him. That's right. So I do want to bring him back. And hopefully not too many other guys in here that have value. Nope, everybody. All right. Everyone is important, pretty much. From Tim Williams over to the left, everyone is extremely valuable. How much money do we have to get this done? 80 mil? That's going to be tight. Tim Williams wants 6 per year. I mean, you got to be kidding me. At some point, you're 76 overall, 26 years old, normal development. How do you expect me to offer that? Also, as if the only player in the team, and I didn't decrease the salary or the bonus or anything, by the way. Sam Cook is like, I'm a 38-year-old punter. I've got a lot of leverage in contract negotiations. You're going to boost that. Because why not? Everyone else re-signed. Tony Jefferson, Ronnie Stanley, Marlon Humphrey, Marshall Yanda, and Michael Pierce, all back on the team. Except for Sam Cook is like, you better give me my money. You are a punter, dude. Another playoff berth, and guess who we get to face in the wild card again? Also the Ravens. Shocker. The Browns went 15-1. Gross. Lamar Jackson had a phenomenal year. We had the 5th best offense in the NFL. 16th best defense. We need to see some improvement there. That's fine, though. Lamar Jackson, great year. 4,200 yards, 39 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Fantastic. Rushing, Mark Ingram was pretty good. Lamar Jackson broke off another 9-yarder. That must have been electric to watch. Receiving, CeeDee Lamb set the league on fire. 79 catches, almost 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. Hollywood Brown was great, 1,100 plus yards, 7 touchdowns. Mark Andrews. Are we just building an Oklahoma offense? Who's a good Oklahoma running back? Adrian Peterson's too old. I don't want to bring in Samaje Perine. I don't want to bring in Rodney Anderson. I mean, I don't know of anyone that fits the mold at the moment. Offensive line was pretty good. Orlando Brown Jr., that's another Oklahoma guy. We're just building Oklahoma's offense. And especially because all these guys were teammates. Orlando Brown was a teammate. Hollywood Brown, CeeDee Lamb. All these guys were on Oklahoma at the exact same time. Mark Andrews, they were all on the same team. Maybe we bring in Cody Ford, add to that offensive line. Kenny Young had 123 tackles, 10 for loss. That would not lead the team, however. Patrick Owasso had 14, a.k.a. Peanut, sacks. We didn't really pressure the quarterback very much at all, which is nice to see. Interceptions, 3 for Marlon Humphrey led the way. Matthew Judon had 2. Okay, maybe. Forced fumbles, Owasso forced 2 of them. And then touchdowns, 0 for the defense. Defense is going to improve next year. They will. I have faith. Josh Allen takes home MVP because we're living in a fantasy land. Let's see. Ravens, Lamar Jackson at 5. I think he should have been MVP with his numbers. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson at 2. No other Ravens. Defense Player of the Year, Von Miller. Look up Von Miller's middle name, by the way. Tell me if you can pronounce it. It's like B. His name's Vonnie B. Vachon. I have no idea. You guys probably have seen a few of these at this point. I know how to pronounce a lot of names. Tua Tagovailoa. That doesn't look like it should be Tungo, but it is. Travis Etienne. I mean, there's some names in here. Jalen Reagor, Grant Calcaterra. There's some names in here where you're like, these are kind of difficult. Vonnie B. Vachon is the most difficult name I've ever seen in my life, if that's how you say it. Nick Coe wins Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Chiefs. No Ravens in there. CeeDee Lamb did not win Rookie of the Year because fucking Tua is a QB. That's annoying. That's just sometimes the way she goes. Also, sometimes people ask me, what does that mean? What does it mean, the way she goes? And it's just the way she goes. It's just how it is. Shout out to Trailer Park Boys, if any of you guys have seen that show. I highly recommend it. It's not for everybody. Stick with it. It gets better after the first season. And let's go ahead and beat the Chargers and advance to the divisional round of the playoffs. For the first time in this rebuild, of course not. 38-21 is your final. And I'm looking forward to another offseason. The Bills and Josh Allen beat the Lions in Super Bowl 55. Now, I know the biased Bills Mafia is like, hell yeah, it's maybe a year too late. That's crazy to me. Tim Williams, I'm not bringing back. Tyus Bowser, I'm not bringing back. Chris Wormley, I'm not bringing back. Sam Cook, I would like to bring back. He doesn't suck cock, or cook, however you want to pronounce it. I'll up the years. He wants to play for a new team. I'm going to franchise tag a punter, so how about you suck my cook, all right? Let's go on to free agency. Let's bring in some big players who can make some big plays. I want to improve on the defensive line. At linebacker, specifically on the outside, I might transition into a 4-3. I think, okay. So CeeDee Lamb is Superstar X Factor, but Lamar Jackson went up to Superstar X Factor. That is so fun. I'm a big fan of that. He's going to be so good. He's going to be unbelievable for this franchise. I'm stoked. Also, CeeDee Lamb, I love Superstar X Factor. Earl Thomas is regressing a bit. Brandon Williams is regressing a lot. Marlon Humphrey's doing well. This is a 3-4. No, it's a 4-3. Owasso's going to move to the outside. Jalen Ferguson's going to move to defensive end. Matthew Judon's going to move to defensive end. And then all we need is a off-the-ball linebacker, which we kind of have in Shaq Quarterman. I'd prefer not to start him. I'm going to change everything around. We're moving to a 4-3. I change defensive schemes every rebuild. You guys pretty much know this at this point. Whatever they have, I don't like it. It doesn't matter if it's a 4-3 or a 3-4. I'm changing. You're in disguise 3-4, and I'm not fooled by it. It's like, they put on a mustache to their defense. It's just not working. So we're going to change to a little 4-3/4 action and then go to Cincinnati. And I've had a lot of success in this defensive playbook, and it's going to be good. It's just going to be good. So trust me. Also, to avoid confusion, because people all the time are like, Bengal, let me give you some tips about football. I'm like, I clearly know that this was a 3-4 prior, and when I said whatever they are, I didn't mean whatever the Ravens are. I meant whatever any other team that I've done. Whatever their scheme is for any other team that I've done, I'm changing to the opposite. Not specifically the Ravens. Believe me, I can discern what different types of defenses are. I'm pretty quick that way sometimes. Brandon Williams, up to an 88 overall at defensive tackle, so a huge boost from an 83. And Matt Judon didn't change overalls at all. Jalen Ferguson went up 1, I believe. Patrick Owasso went up 2. Shaq Quarterman went up from a 68 to a 72. Moved him to outside linebacker. So overall, I mean, like, players aren't regressing as much as I thought they would. Like, Marshall Yanda's down to an 83, sure. That's fine. I don't really care about that all that much. However, Mark Ingram really flew under the radar. No pun intended with the Ravens. He's regressing a lot. He's down to a 79. So if I can sign a good back in free agency, I might look to do that. Big Play Slay is here. What a combo he would make with Marlon Humphrey. Adding to our SEC theme, as it just seems like those were the best players are from. So, of course, Darius Slay is from Mississippi State. And it added Junior to his name, I guess. I don't think was that Slay Jr. on the back of his jersey. Maybe at some point last year, but I don't think the years prior. Now, he is 30, but he also is a 90. And this is year 3 of a probable 4. So would I sign Darius Slay to a 2-year deal? Up to a 91 right now with morale. But if he goes down to what, an 86, it's still worth the price? I think we're going to do that. Now, Leonard Fournette is basically what we have with Mark Ingram. They're similar style players. He's just younger, doesn't have great development. Curtis Samuel would be an interesting addition because that's someone that we could move to running back, which would be weird. We could do it. Lower carrying, but he does have generally good running back traits, especially as a receiving back. Forget about it. He's got good ball carrier vision, good break tackle. Carrying is low. Elusiveness is good. Juke move is good. Spin move is okay. Agility is fantastic. But am I really going to offer him a big contract to play running back? Unlikely, but what I would do... I don't think I can sign him to... I'm not going to go after Curtis Samuel. Let's not get a wide receiver to play running back. That's kind of lame, especially in these realistic rebuilds. His overall will go up. I can promise you. I can promise you. It would go up. We can even see. I'm excited to find out what it could be. I don't even think I can edit him right now, but that's fine. Tevin Coleman's here. Maybe we'll just draft a running back. Who are the good running backs in the 2021 class, which I'm going to load in? I don't even know. I don't even know who's eligible, because a lot of them are coming out this year. Keontae Ingram out of Texas could improve his stock. I'm sure I'm missing a huge couple players. It's going to be fun, though, because there are going to be some beasts in this class. Trevor Lawrence should be in it. Rondell Moore out of Purdue should be in it. There are going to be some really, really good players. The names of running backs are eluding me at this point. So, we'll see. Darius Slay accepts. That is a huge addition to our secondary. Really, really, really good. All right, so we're gonna test this out for this episode. We're gonna download it from the Madden Share. I've not done this yet, so we're gonna find out if it's bad. It's bad. We won't use it again. If it seems like it's all right, we'll use it more often. So Chris, nope, that's somebody else. So Relic TK says the first 2 rounds are real prospects, which is fine. Now this one has 400 plus real prospects for 2021. And he has 2022. You know, we're going to give Brad a shot. We'll give you a shot, Brad. I thought we were going to go Relic, but you sold me with 400 plus real 2021 prospects. It's got to be lazy at that point, because 400, that's a lot of projection. But maybe that'll be fun. We'll see. I'll give you a shot, Brad. Should be a bunch of good receivers in this class. Not that we really need one, but we don't not. Love my boy Caden Stearns. Patrick Surtain Jr. is in here. Really good player. And at wide receiver, like, We should have Amon-Ra St. Brown out of USC. We should have maybe... What's the name of the great receiver out of Washington State right now? Davon Tavian Martin. Seeing this? There he is. Really? 6th round? I don't know about that. Osiris St. Brown is in here. All right, we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. Tylan Wallace, of course, I have coming out this year, so that's a little bit bad. And Jalen Waddle's in here as well. Justin Ross, Rondell Moore. So I guess there is some overlap with this class as he predicts guys like Jalen Waddle to come back, Tylan Wallace to come back. I guess. All right. At running back, yeah, a lot of these guys are a little bit foreign to me. DJ Dallas, I know. But Kennedy Brooks, of course, I know. But Jamar Jefferson, I can't say I've ever seen him play a snap in his life. Keontae Ingram, there he is. All right. Also, I wanted to do a shout out. I might go back and record something at the start of this. Nah, I won't because I'll do it in another video too. But a huge part of my channel is rebuilds, obviously. And I did start that when I was doing Madden 25 videos and they didn't really catch on. And I quit doing YouTube. And then I came back. And when I started seeing rebuilds in 2K, I'm like, hey, are people into rebuilds now? And then, so I saw CSB, a channel, and he was big into rebuilds, and it got me back into doing rebuilds, and I think I owe a lot of my success on my channel to deciding to give rebuilds another shot, because the 2K community really did make them big, and I'm sure, like, no one stole my idea, that's not what I'm saying or anything like that, but as far as I know, I was the first to ever do any rebuilds, but they never caught on, nobody watched them. And then 2K made him big, and CSB was the real guy that made rebuilds big, in my opinion. And he is back trying to upload more consistently, and he's trying out Madden. I'm gonna leave a link to his channel in the description and in the comments section below. Definitely go over there. He's today uploaded a Titans rebuild. If it is not up when you watch this video, just hit the subscribe button. You'll see it pop up in your subscriptions later. If it is up, give it a watch, okay? But trust me, he's entertaining. I love CSB, and I think you guys will as well. So link in the description of his channel. Let's try to revitalize that a little bit. If you guys could hit him up with like 1,000 new subscribers today, that'd be pretty sick. I promise you he's going to be one of the better rebuilders, more entertaining rebuilders to watch as well. So definitely make sure to check him out. CSB, you can search it on YouTube, but I will have a link in the description to his channel. We pick at number 24 overall. Let's see what we can take. I probably should have saw who the Vikings took, but it might have been Trevor Lawrence, so whatever. There goes Isaiah Wilson, a tackle out of Georgia, to the Chicago Bears. And I'm thinking about a running back. And, of course, it's an Oklahoma-themed video at this point. Might as well continue the Oklahoma-themed offense. He's a 77 overall. No real perspective on where that is with the rest of the class. But he does have normal development. Not ideal, but I'll probably start him over Mark Ingram, just because of the potential. I hope this draft class isn't too overpowered in terms of overalls, and it probably is, has Sean Clifford to 73. That could screw some things up. I won't lie to you. It really could. I hope it doesn't, but it really, really could. We'll see what a linebacker is. Let's go with one that I know off the bat is good. And of course, like, I'm huge into college football. I'm huge into the draft. There are a lot of players on here that I do not know. One that I do know is a name that I have no idea how to pronounce. So I'm going to do my best, and I really do apologize in advance. This has really been the name, like, mispronunciation episode, or perhaps we talked about it a couple times, and I'm going to talk about it again. This is going to be so embarrassing. Palai Gautiote? Palai Gautiote. That's probably not even close. He is a 70 overall with a star or better. Again, I actually don't know what it is now because they fixed that glitch. So it leads me to believe superstar with the pose, but the pose is random now. So actually don't know what it is. He will be... I mean, we could start him right away over Shaq Quarterman if we wanted to. I guess we just simulate to the third round. Third round here. A lot of receivers still available. I'm going to go a different direction and probably take another linebacker. This is Isaiah Moore out of NC State. Welcome to the Baltimore Ravens, 67 overall, normal development. It's just pretty much backups at this point. So I am going to simulate to the end of the draft and see what the CPU is capable of doing. The Chargers are like the Wizards or something now, the Sorcerers, whatever that logo is at the top. They always move in these. And also, I've looked up the pronunciation of the linebacker we took out of USC, and I'm familiar with the name. I just don't know how to say it. His teammates apparently call him IE, and I'm not shocked because his name is really something. And apparently it's pronounced Paula EA Now Teote. So GAO is now. Israel Mukuamu is a 72. Lamont Wade is a 70 in the 7th round. So this class is viciously overpowered. A little bit annoying, but what can you do? I guess if you're the maker of that and you're watching these videos, tone down the ratings a little bit and make it a little bit better for the progression of the league, because the ratings are scaled down for a reason. It's for balancing issues and to make better players feel better. And when these guys come in and they're the best players at their position in a couple of years, it isn't the best. So it's okay. Just, scale it down next time. Kennedy Brooks is going to play. He's going to be everything. He'll just be everything. Maybe not. We'll have Mark Ingram be our third down back. We'll keep things the way they are for the most part. I do not want now Teote rushing the passer. Do we want Mukuamu playing a lot? Probably not. I don't even know what to do. What are your stats? I didn't even look at these. Just looked at overall. He doesn't. I remember him being like an inside backer, or like off the ball linebacker, I should say. So his power moves and finesse moves are not good. Why would he be rushing the passer? I don't know. Jalen Ferguson will rush the passer. Matt Judon in there as well. Defensively, these are things and how they're shaping up. Darius Slay is a big addition to the team. We got Tavon Young still in the nickel. Jalen Ferguson is starting now. Judon, of course, has moved down. Everything's moved over. We're going to start Shaq Quarterman. Why not? And then offensively, CeeDee Lamb should be a beast. Hollywood Brown, Lamar Jackson, Kennedy Brooks in here. Got a lot of Oklahoma boys. Kennedy Brooks, Marquise Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Mark Andrews, Orlando Brown Jr. I mean, we got everybody out here. And I guess the one thing missing is Baker Mayfield or Kyler Murray. So do we trade for Baker? No, of course not. But we are going to simulate to the midseason mark of season number 3. Hope you guys are as excited as I am. This team has been a ton of fun to build so far. Really haven't had to do all that much work. It's been just a lot of fun drafting and bringing in new players to the team. They're an 82 overall. Let's see how successful we can be. I think the defense is going to do way bigger things this year in a 4-3. We will find out. I will see you guys at the midseason mark. We shouldn't really have too many impactful players to re-sign. Lamar Jackson maybe, but other than that, probably not too many players. Orlando Brown Jr. maybe. So, of course, Lamar Jackson is an impending free agent. We are 6-2, sitting atop the AFC North. Very good to see. Lamar Jackson's going to have to be re-signed. It's going to be a massive deal. That shouldn't come as a shock to anybody. Brandon Williams in here as well. Orlando Brown Jr., Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst. Mark Ingram, we're going to let walk. Sam Cook is back. Wow, there actually are a lot. There really are a lot of good players here. Lamar Jackson, he's 24 years old, 88 overall, progressing so well. Superstar X Factor. He's going to get a max contract. We'll up that a little bit. He should re-sign very easily, and he does. We don't actually have the money to re-sign Sam Cook. As I said, money goes pretty quickly when you're doing these sometimes, so I can't really even bring back Dick Boyle. Not that I'd want to, really, but Kenny Young's going to be a big one. We have to find a way to free up some cap space before the offseason, and I hate to say it, but hopefully that's with Marshall Yanda retiring, because he is down to retired. Oh, jeez. So he is retired. Tommy Cramer is going to start at right guard then. What's eating all of our money? Mark Ingram, probably. And then defensively, it's probably a little bit of everybody. Now Teote is going to start at left outside linebacker. He's just a 74 already, and has star development or better, and Shaq Quarterman only has normal. Mukuamu's up to a 75, so players are progressing really, really well. Just, it's going to be tough at the end of the season because we don't have any money. So season 4, which will happen, is going to be a tough one. It really is, because we're going to have to make some tough decisions in order to free up some space. Earl Thomas is eating a lot of it. There's some Nick Boyle. What the fuck? Excuse my French there. I don't speak French. I mean, he's going to be gone at the end of the season. That's a ton of money. Mark Ingram's going to be gone. We'll free up this. We're actually fine. We're fine. Never mind. I was freaking out a little bit. We're fine. All right. Playoff time. We just beat the Sorcerers. I don't know what they're called. 24-6. We went 11-5. Won the AFC North. We got a first round bye. Our offense is like, why don't we just regress a bunch without Marshall Yanda? But our defense is like, we'll be the best in the NFL, which is cool. I like to see that. Lamar Jackson, still a decent season, except he threw for 1,000 fewer yards, which was weird. Kennedy Brooks had a decent season, nothing crazy. Receiving, obviously all the yards are down a lot, but we had 4 different players with 7 touchdowns. All of them, except for Miles Boykin, from Oklahoma, so 3. I felt like it was going to be all of them. It wasn't. We're built. It's a Notre Dame Oklahoma hybrid. That's what it is. Kenny Young had 110 tackles. Michael Pierce led tackles for loss with 11. Jalen Ferguson had 10 sacks, 7.5 for Jalen Ferguson, and Matt Judon 4.5 for Michael Pierce, and IE we'll call him. Interceptions 3 for Tony Jefferson, Tavon Young, and Earl Thomas, 2 for Marlon Humphrey, and big play Slay. Apparently just a few big plays this year, only 2. Any touchdowns? Nope. Let's see awards here. I would love something. We'll see. Andrew Luck wins MVP. The Bears got a quarterback, and it is not Mitchell Trubisky. What is happening? They are the Wizards. It's the Rams who moved. Not even the Chargers. This is a weird one. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Andrew Luck. Why am I looking at the Wizards, dude? This is ridiculous. Trubisky's on the Patriots. What is happening? Defensive Player of the Year is Von Miller. There are some interesting ones in here. There really are. And some players on teams that just shock me. Justin Fields is on the Steelers. He won Rookie of the Year. Kennedy Brooks finished in second. I was hoping he would finish in first. What are you going to do? Defensive Rookie of the Year is Mohamed Sanogo. No Ravens. This was, I don't even know what to say about this year. Just an odd one. I mean, I'm happy we're in the playoffs and all. Happy we have a first round bye. Just a little surprised. We get the Browns in the divisional. At least we have home field advantage. We'll check out the team. I know you guys are all eager Beavers for a little upgrade here, a little update. And the team's looking nice. No better development for Kennedy Brooks just yet. Hopefully he gets star or something. Lamar Jackson up to a 90. Hollywood Browns at a 91. The offense looks so good. And then defensively, we have players. That's what I'll say. They're not the greatest of players, but they mean well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how well they mean, because we're going to find out if they have what it takes to beat the Browns in the divisional. Running back training boost. Sure, why not? I have a theory that impacts who gets better development. I really do. I think it does. Correct me if I'm wrong if you work for EA. We're an 85 overall. The Browns are an 86. All I care about is building a good team and having a good record. And we have that. So this one could go either way. I'm not sad about it. We'll do Season 4 and see if we can actually win a Super Bowl. Last time the Ravens won a Super Bowl, of course, many Ravens fans will remember 2012. The lights went out in the game against the 49ers. That was one for the ages. It was wild. Joe Flacco, maybe the most elite quarterback in NFL history. But now we have Lamar Jackson, so it's kind of a big downgrade. It's tough to go from elite to Lamar Jackson, who's a glorified running back playing the QB position. All right. What if I talk like that all the time? Like I'm a broadcaster from the 40s. That's not what that voice was, but it could have been. This is not a very eventful game. We're down 10-3, 10-6. The offense is not showing up today. 17-9. This is actually, you know what? It's a typical Ravens game because Justin Tucker is accounting for every point. And I wanted to hop in on offense and see if we could do something. Looked like we couldn't. Can we get a stop? This game's fucking over. Can we score? Great. 24-16. But that's the game. Freddie Kitchens and the Browns beat us. Lamar Jackson, no touchdowns thrown. Baker Mayfield destroyed our defense. That's what we need. We need him. We need an Oklahoma quarterback. I hate Oklahoma, but this is the Oklahoma-themed rebuild somehow. Just a bunch of Oklahoma players. When you think Ravens, you think draft Alabama. But no, it's Oklahoma right now. We're going to simulate to the offseason. We're going to do a fourth and final season. I hope we do well. We've made it to the divisional. That's improvement. It was wild card. And then now divisional. Maybe it's a conference championship up next as the Browns win the Super Bowl. Let's get it going, man. Let's bring back Kenny Young. Sam Cook will get a different feller. Deshaun Elliott I'd like to bring back. Dude, where is Mark Ingram? I haven't seen him. Oh, we don't have money. How? Isn't Nick Boyle getting a lot of money off the books? How we have no money? So Mark Ingram retired. Where's all the salary cap? Earl Thomas is a lot for an 87 overall. You guys know I'm not getting rid of him, so I guess we're paying a lot of guys like 10 mil a year. Judon, Cody Whitehair, Tony Jefferson. Tony Jefferson. See, I wish I could say he's going to be a cap casualty, but he can't be. We're going to release. I don't. We're in such a weird spot because he's still technically on the team, even though he's not going to be on the team. What's the penalty for releasing Tony Jefferson? Way too much. We're stuck with him. We're stuck with Tony Jefferson. This is a really, really realistic rebuild. Kenny Young is going to have to walk. I don't really have a choice. How much money do we have? -7 mil. So not a lot. I guess it's draft time? All right, pick at number 28 overall. Broncos once again have the number 1 overall pick. Who can we draft at 28 to make a difference? Not Packers. Cowboys took a 66 overall receiver. Josh Bellamy is already a guy. You can't just give the names. You can't just take a guy's name and say you're an auto-generated player. Josh Bellamy already exists, and he isn't a running back from Georgia. Titus Rice, that's kind of a sick name. We could use a power back. He looks pretty good. We're gonna draft him. Backup running back, why not? 70 overall. He's got hidden dev. Of course, it looks like Superstar X Factor. You can't wear 29 because Earl Thomas has it. I like how they come out in numbers that are already claimed. Stupid. I'd rather they come out in the number of their draft round than a number of a player we already have on the team. Cowboys absolutely stealing the show. A 66 and then a 68. They're just going off here. Anthony Smith out of New Hampshire. Let's hope he also has the heart of a lion. Bring him onto the team. 66. So I'm complaining about a 66 overall receiver for the Cowboys. But you know, we didn't take him in the first round. We're going to simulate the draft. Not a great draft, admittedly. Could have been worse. I'm not sure how, but it probably could have been. When you don't scout and you just draft randomly, things don't go particularly well. What else can I say? But this is the 4th and final season. It is Super Bowl or bust. And by bust, I mean the bust of Joe Flacco's head in Canton. He's an elite Hall of Famer. We're going to upgrade our coach and wide receiver it is, I think. Oh, we also don't have a punter. This can be a weird... Oh, do we still have Kira Vidvik? I don't think I re-signed him. So if he was a free agent at any point, we definitely don't. Justice Hill sucks to suck. You're going to get benched. You're going to get buried, I should say. Defensively, wow. It is not good. Patrick Owasso is going to start at outside linebacker. We're going to move I.E. Naute Ote in to play middle linebacker, which is probably a more natural fit for him anyway. He's wearing 52. Now, I can't think of any other Ravens players that might have worn 52. So, I suppose we'll just keep him at that. And Mukuamu's up to a 77. So what we could do, he's wearing what? Number 24? Probably just change his number to one that isn't associated with any big Ravens players. I was looking for 20. I guess somebody already has it? Darius Slay. Perfect. That works well. This is the team for the 4th and final season. Some regression, a little bit. Michael Pierce has stayed at about a 92 the entire time. Darius Slay in there. Marlon Humphrey's up to a 90. Earl Thomas has regressed a bit. It would probably make sense to get Mukuamo some more playing time, but whatever. Offensively, team's looking good. Lamar Jackson's a monster. Receiving core is insane. Offensive line is also fantastic. So we'll see if this team can compete. I will see you guys at the midseason mark just to kind of catch up, see how we're doing, and then we'll go to the playoffs. All right, 2-6. Oh, okay. I guess. Update. Things are not going well. I don't know what's happened. Things were looking great. We had a 90 overall quarterback. I haven't changed anything. We were winning every single season. And now, we've won 2 games out of a possible 8. Not great. And it's too late. Yeah, I am a rapper. I'm dropping my mixtape soon. I'll see you guys at the playoffs, which it doesn't look like we're going to make. And we're going to end the season on a great note of missing the playoffs, per usual. That's why you guys hit that subscribe button. You guys are the best. And, of course, didn't make the playoffs, because why would we? Finished 8-8, and guess what? The Browns won the division at 8-8. That's super funny. I'm laughing so I don't cry. This is the final team. Hollywood Browns up to a 93. Isn't that funny? That he passed Lamar Jackson with a worse development trait? And being younger and starting at a lower overall? He really was the unsung hero of this rebuild. 98 speed, 98 deep route running. He got really, really good. CeeDee Lamb's up to a 90. I mean, this is a really, really cool team. We made it a theme, kind of. A lot of Big 12 players, some SEC boys in there as well. I guess Marlon Humphrey and Darius Slay are really the biggest part of that. Big 12, we have Earl Thomas, and I don't even know, dude. I mean, I guess there was no real defensive theme. I talked about like SEC with the corners, but it was really just the Oklahoma-themed rebuild. Mark Andrews, Orlando Brown Jr., CeeDee Lamb, Hollywood Brown, Kennedy Brooks. It was a fun one, even though I hate Oklahoma. Why did I do it? I'll never know. But I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to check out CSB if you guys want to see that Titans rebuild. Link is down in the description. And I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure to use code BANGLE at SeatGeek if you're looking to save $20. Only if you're looking to save money. If you don't want to save money, then don't use code BANGLE by all means. But if you do like saving money, you're going to go to the game anyway, use code BANGLE and make sure to hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, whatever. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.
We'll